Chapter 6. Think. Tracy cursed her inability to find a way out of her predicament. She would be a slave forever if she didn't do something. Corona seemed amused at Trixie's efforts. She activated her horn. Forgive me, Trixie Lunaverse, but this must be done for the good of all. Suddenly, a white figure rushed in front of Trixie, and she gaped at his identity. It was Rarity. I can't allow you to do that, darling, Rarity said in defiance. She gave Trixie a wink when she caught Trixie staring. If you want to get to her, you have to get through me as well, dear. Another point that Trixie didn't know, the same as Rarity. Me too. So several more ponies rushed to Trixie's aid, including Dinky and several other foals. Dinky growled and did her best to be menacing. The townsfolk started shouting Corona. Some ponies actually threw trash cans at the rising entire sun. Get out here, you ain't wanted! Princess Luna forever! Boo, get us, you monster. You saw Corona! Corona erupted in anger and gave out a roar that made every pony cover their ears in pain. You fools! Like you understand what I am trying to do. I am not the bad guy. I just want to make Equestria a better place. Trixie gave a weak laugh. They all see you for what you truly are, Corona. Trixie coughed and sputtered when she felt Corona grab her with telekinesis by the throat and lift her air. Trixie couldn't breathe. Everybody else gasped. I will not be made a fool of, Trixie Lunaverse, Corona said coldly. I will make you understand this, you and every pony else. Don't worry, however. I won't kill you. But you will wish that I did. Trixie gargled under the strain of Corona's magical grasp. Breathing was impossible. Trixie pawed uselessly at her throat, everything going black. Corona let go of her magic, and Trixie fell roughly to the ground. Trixie! Raindrops cried out while trying to crawl toward her. Fools! Corona eyed every pony gathering in front of Trixie. Do you wish to defy me now? The group of ponies backed away in fear. Raindrops crawled up to Trixie. You okay? I'll be fine, Trixie said weakly, and tried her best to get back on her hose. The girl threw small flames at the crowd of ponies, and they scrambled for safety. No pony was hurt, thankfully. While watching to see if the ponies that protected her got to safety, Trixie noticed that something strange about Twilight Sparkle, now known as Corvus. She had a strange look on her face, like she was fighting something. Trixie guessed that Corvus might be struggling to overcoming the spell Corona was using to control her. If they could free Corvus from Corona's mind and control, they might have a chance. Trixie was weak, but not enough that she couldn't cast a simple detect magic spell. Trixie saw it. She saw the connection Corona was using to keep Corvus under control. There was a red string running from Corvus to Corona that connected. The string looked strained and thin. Corvus fighting back. Corona's use of magic, or outbursts of anger, and her sleepy concentration made the spell weak. Perhaps it was weak enough for Trixie to break it. Trixie closed her eyes and thought. It might be a bad idea to free the creature. It might go on a rampage, but Twilight Sparkle might still be in there. What are you doing? Demanded Corona, suddenly paying her attention back to Trixie. Trixie decided to risk it. Trixie cast a spell at Corvus that dispelled the magic, and Corona's control broke completely. Normally, this wouldn't have worked, since Trixie wasn't anywhere near powerful enough to affect Corona's magic. But Corvus's will was putting so much strain on the spell that even Trixie could break it. Corona's eyes widened. Fool! What have you done? Her horn started glowing. Corvus interrupted her with a barrage of feathers. Never again! Corvus cried out. Corona drove out of the way of the attack. Corvus suddenly teleported in front of Corona, swung her wings and right to Corona's torso. Corona created a shield and backed away, barely avoiding getting hit. The shield broke from another barrage of feathers, but Corona moved out of the range of the attack. Corona countered an attack with a wave of fire that Corvus teleported away from. Trixie took advantage of the distraction, and she ran with Raindrops away from the two. The rest of the Air Rangers did the same. They moved to regroup somewhere safe. Corvus threw her cart at Corona and it exploded in flames. It dissipated silently around her. Corvus teleported away from a fireball and barely avoided another one, when another one was thrown in the exact place Corvus appeared to. She teleported again to avoid more fireballs, but Corona seemed to know exactly where the creature would appear. Since she grasped Corona's Alcor senses, allowed her to track Corvus's movements while teleporting. Corvus grated her teeth and used her magic to deflect the fireball with telekinesis, seemingly realizing the futility of teleporting against her opponent. The fireball was redirected to the right, and a nearby stand erupted in flames. This was the only fire accidentally started by Corona. Other stands, carts, and some foliage were also burning. When Corona noticed that some fire was spreading towards the house, she used her magic to put out all the fires she started. Corona started panting. Trixie noticed just how much weaker Corona looked from when she was encountering Trixie earlier. Drastically so, in effect. She looked weary, and not just from the fight. It looked like she had been up for days. Her coat was discolored and looked dangerously thin. The change in appearance startled Trixie. She suddenly realized the reason for the startling change. Corona's magnificent appearance was just an illusion to impress them all. In reality, she was still really weak from Zikora's poisoning of her magic. It didn't look like she could fight on for much longer. A blow from Corvus' wing sent Corona flying through a house into a fountain. Corona struggled to her hose. This was not what Trixie had in mind when she freed Corvus. The two were supposed to helpfully beat each other. Wing to the head sent Corona flying again right into a store for her clothes. And several mannequins fell on her. Corvus smirked and created a fireball of her own and threw it at the prone Corona. The whole store exploded in flames. Corona emerged surrounded by a barrier, several other shark ponies around her. They ran when Corona killed the flames it sealed. Corona collapsed to one knee, panting heavily. Corona growled, "This isn't over, creature!" She teleported away and vanished completely. Corvus laughed and horribly started sending fireballs in random directions. Ponies ran to safety as several buildings were set on fire. Bob had been watching the fight from the sideline, screamed in pain. She was suddenly burned by an incoming fireball that only barely avoided. Part of her coat was singed off, but otherwise seemed okay and ran to safety. Trixie put her hose in her face. "What have I done?" Trixie sat in Bonbon's living room, staring into the now cold cup of tea in complete silence. The rest of the Rangers, except Carrot Top, were there as well, chatting around her. Trixie wasn't listening, lost in her own thoughts. It was raining hard now, thanks to an impromptu rainstorm created by weather ponies. Thankfully, Corvus had stopped bombarding the town with fire, and all the fires had gone out. Right now, Corvus was occupying herself by chasing around Rainbow Dash, who boldly challenged her to a race. Rainbow's speed impressed the creature and enjoyed the challenge the Dash presented. Who knew how long that would keep the monster's attention, and the group was discussing a plan. Carrot Top went to get Sakura, hoping she could come up with something. Carrot Top and Sakura had become friends over the last couple of months, and Carrot was a precedent under her. Trixie eyed Bonbon and sighed for the 100th time. Part of Bonbon's coat was burned off, but otherwise she seemed to be in one piece. It looked like she might have a few faint scars from the fire, but her coat would grow over it. She was probably in a bit of pain, but refused to show it on her face. Trixie really hadn't said a word to any pony since entering. She wasn't sure she wanted to talk to any pony for a while. Trixie wanted to apologize to both Lyra and Bonbon, but nothing came out of her mouth. Trixie had no idea how to face either of them. "Hey, Trixie!" Lyra cried out. Trixie said noncommittally, "Trixie!" Lyra almost screamed. This had Trixie's attention. She turned to Lyra finally. "Yes?" "Are you okay? You've been quiet. It's not like you." Lyra gave a concerned look. The rest of Trixie's friends gave a similar look. "I'm fine." Trixie turned away. "I see," Lyra sighed. "I didn't think Trixie would take it this hard," Dizzy whispered. "Just give her some space," Raindrops replied. "She'll be back to her annoying self in no time." Every pony else gave a hesitant nod. Trixie took a sip of her tea. It was okay. It needed something. Trixie got up and left for the kitchen. Trixie rummaged through the cabinets. She set aside various spices, herbs, and other things, getting a little annoyed, not finding what she was looking for. She was sure Lyra and Bonbon had some. In a few moments, Trixie found what she was looking for. She grabbed a bottle of soy sauce in her magic and closed the cabinet doors. "Aha! Perfect!" Trixie proclaimed to victory and grabbed the bottle with her hose. "There you are," Bonbon said as he entered the kitchen. "You've been gone so long, we were starting to get worried." Found what I was looking for. Tracy held up the bottle. Bonbon looked at an eyebrow but didn't say anything. Tracy was about to leave the room, but Bonbon grabbed her with a hoof. Wait, Bonbon said. This is about... Tracy's trying to say, but Bonbon looked at the hoof to interrupt her. Lyra told me what happened. Bonbon gave a solemn look. I just want to say it wasn't your fault. Of course it is! Tracy cried out. You almost got seriously hurt because of me. But I didn't, Bonbon pointed out. It doesn't matter. Tracy turned her back. It was stupid of me to just unleash that thing. I should have just let Corona capture us. It come up with a better plan. You made a tough judgment call. Bonbon shook her head. You did the best you could under the circumstances. It happens. You have no idea if letting Corona capture you would have been better. It might have made things worse. It isn't that simple. Tracy felt tears coming. If something happened to you, I don't think I could ever face Lyra again. Trixie, she would hate me forever, for sure. Tracy sniffled. Bonbon put a covering hoof on Trixie's back. Lyra would never hate you. She loves you, Trixie. What? Trixie wasn't sure how to respond to that. Of course she does. Bonbon turned Trixie around and smiled. You're like a sister to her. She really cares about you. Really? Bonbon nodded. Really. Trust me. Lyra will always forgive you. Your family, after all. Tracy stayed silent, processing this. She had no idea Lyra felt so strongly about her. Their friendship might run a lot deeper than she thought. Tracy started to feel a little silly. We don't always get along, but we're family too. Bonbon gave Trixie a tight hug, and Trixie returned a moment later. Bonbon released Trixie. Now, no more sulking. You have a job to do. Sakura just arrived and everybody's ready to make a plan. Thanks, Bonbon. I needed that. Trixie walked towards the door. Just one thing, Bonbon said. Trixie stopped. Yes. Don't run around in a monster costume again. That was a really dumb idea. Bonbon gave a look that Trixie knew meant Bonbon would tear her heart out and eat it if she attempted anything like that again. Trixie quickly nodded and left the room. When Trixie entered the living room, she found every pony there, plus Sakura reclining on a couch. She had on 10 salad bags with her cutie mark on it. Dizzy had stitched it for her, apparently. Trixie got back to her seat and put the bottle of soy sauce on the coffee table. She opened the bottle and poured a generous portion into her tea. She stirred it with a spoon and took a sip. Divine, Trixie purred. It was still cold, but she preferred tea that way. Sakura watched in wide-eyed bewilderment. Trixie did her best not to gag. The rest of her friends did a better job of hiding the reaction and stayed almost completely stoic. Trixie put her cup down and turned to Sakura. Hello, Sakura. We need your help. Somehow Corona has... My dear friend Kiritup has informed me of your troubles. Sakura interrupted. Corona has created a fearsome foe that has given you quite a few struggles. Trixie coughed. She should have guessed that. Save time and unnecessary explanations. What should we do about it? She's so strong, Lyra complained, and she teleports all over the place. How the heck can we deal with that? Our best efforts did nothing. You can't just wait for us to get our full power back. Dizzy looked out the window. Outside there was a building that was the victim of a fireball. We can't let that thing run around any longer. But what can we do? Lyra asked, frustrated. We had to pin her down somehow, Raindrop suggested. But how do we do that? Lyra crossed her legs. She'll just teleport away if we try anything. Simple. We just poison her magic like Sakura did to Corona, Tracy said. Then she won't have enough power to teleport. It has to take a lot of energy. Sakura shook her head. That won't work. That potion has a peculiar, unwieldy quirk. Sakura's right. When Corona was poisoned, it didn't make her lose magic. It made it difficult for Corona to regain her magic, Carrot Top explained. And the potion has to be drunk. That won't be easy. Oh, was all that Trixie could say. Hey, it could work, Raindrops around, but we're too weak right now to post her completely exhausted. We could use a magic suppressor on her to stop her magic completely, Trixie suggested. Usually it was a ring on the horn. Trixie had heard of Hoofcuffs that do the same as well. But we had to put it on her, and I had no idea where we would find one on such short notice. Like, what if we, I don't know, make it so that teleporting will be too difficult for her to do? Tracy was still spitballing now. Carrot Top and Sakura looked at each other and brightened. I think you have it! Carrot Top exclaimed, standing up. I believe you have come up with a solution. This crisis will finally be able to have a resolution. Sakura started rummaging through her saddlebags. She pulled out a book with half-written notes. Trixie couldn't read any of it. It was written in what Trixie presumed to be zebra. She pointed it towards a page. It had several diagrams of monsters growing. Wait. What do you want us to do? Lyra asked Sauce. We make Lunaverse huge and fight it with our Zords, Carrot Top beamed. What? Lyra said flatly. What we just have a giant teleporting monster to deal with? Dizzy asked. It seems absurd. Normally they tried to beat Corona's monsters before she had a chance to make them giant, wanting to save the town from unnecessary damage naturally. How do we pull off a spell like this anyway? At that size, teleporting would be difficult. It would be nearly impossible, Sakura explained. Oh yeah? I know a few monsters on Ultraman that would disagree. Bitika would suddenly be quite possible. Tracy blinked. What do you mean? Right now, she really wished she put more research in how teleporting works. It's like this. Carrot Top cleared her throat. The growth spell increased their size, but not their magic pool. That's impossible. This gives us a lot smaller pool to find to work for. Tracy thought about this and came to some realization. Ha! And there's no way she could teleport that mass easily. Tracy didn't know much about teleportation, but she did know the spell became much harder the more mass you had a teleportation spell. Trying to teleport more than one opponent was incredibly difficult. Trying to teleport yourself when you weigh over 100,000 tons would be something not even Princess Luna could do. It would cost far too much magic to perform the spell. Corvus might have the power of 6 star beasts, but that didn't make her magic infinite. Of course, Raindrop said. She's too big to teleport around, and even if she could, it would deplete your magic very quickly. Tracy nodded. Basically, yes. And we will be fighting with our Zords who aren't beaten down as we are, Raindrop stomped a hoof. Nice bones, Trixie teared. But can Sakura pull this spell off? Trixie asked. Sakura nodded. Replicating the mad eloquent spell shouldn't be difficult. It will be a little elegant. It is quite a bit experimental, but it should work, Sakura coughed. It won't last long, only about 15 minutes, but this is mostly guesswork. It's a plan, and it's better than fighting her in this condition, Trixie proclaimed, her brow furrowed. I hope we can get the ingredients in time. Zebra magic was a type of alchemy that could bend reality to the caster's wishes. Who knows what rare and hard-to-get ingredients the spell needed? Actually, Trixie, Sakura already brought all her spell ingredients with her. Carrot Top opened up the back door, and sure enough, behind it was a cart full of a dizzying number of bottles, ingredients, and other things Trixie couldn't identify. Good, Trixie said after a moment. That was convenient. She was afraid he would have to run around town while desperately trying to find the ingredients he needed. Carrot Top made sure I brought everything I could, Sakura said, smiling. I'm glad I listened to her, or else we would have to run home again in all likelihood. Glad you're on top of everything. Trixie smiled so they had a plan of sorts. Carrot Top smiled widely. That is why they call me Carrot Top, after all. Everybody including Sakura groaned. Carrot Top went offended. Aye, that was fun. How long will the potion take? Trixie looked outside and saw a terrifying Rainbow Dash dodging lightning blasts from Corvus' horn. Sakura thought for a moment. I need only 5 minutes to create the potion. I will work so quickly it'll look like I'm in fast motion. Trixie and I get going. Wait, Dizzy cried out. How are we going to get Corvus to even drink that thing? Trixie tensed. She was so excited she forgot about that little detail. Do not fear, for the treasure smoke, Sakura asserted. One breath is all it needs for the spell to be awoke. Dizzy and Trixie sighed in relief. That was a bit more manageable. They had a plan. Trixie sipped more of her tea, trying to relax, and hear how much faith he was putting in Sakura. Some points he didn't want to trust. The zebra could ruin everything so easily. Paranoia crept into her thoughts. Trixie shook her head. Jumping at shells and downing everything got her nowhere. Last time she let her paranoia get the better of her, she got exploded. No, she Sakura prove herself. Luna often said trust is something that should be earned. Trixie decided from now on she would keep her eyes on her enemies, while letting herself succumb to fear or distrust ponies on sight. Fear destroys and prevents friendships. She wanted to be Sakura's friend.